welcome to Catflap Chats. This is episode 92. Just quickly visit catflapchats.com where you'll find all of our merch, our back catalogue of guests and our sponsors and partners. Enough about that. I've got Alaw half Pritchard.
Yep.
I've said it right. Yes, lovely. Off pod, we were just saying then, like I've said it about 85 different ways. So delighted to have you on. I'm actually excited about today. I was just saying then, like, I get asked so much to try and speak to people from the glamour industry, and you do OnlyFans and loads of other stuff. So I'm excited about where it's going to go today and kind of your take on the world and what's going on at the moment. So thanks for coming on. And what's news?
No, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No, it's all right. What's going on in your world then?
Well, I think everyone's seen the latest with OnlyFans. They've just decided that they're gonna stop explicit content. So my world's kind of been turned upside down, but hasn't at the same time, because I don't do explicit stuff. But then I'm like in the grey area of, am I okay? Am I not okay? And obviously they're being purposely vague, and I don't think anyone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's been an entertaining week. It's been fun.
I can imagine. So is it? So I've seen a lot of this, and like for people who don't know who you are, you were on BBC Three's Young Welsh and bossing it. You've obviously do glamour modelling, create content, OnlyFans, but also law graduate. You were a finalist for Miss Wales, I think, back in the day. So there's more to you than just OnlyFans. But I was looking at OnlyFans, and there was something around like if it's non-consensual or something like that. So the way I read it was they might still keep some stuff on there, but get rid of other stuff then.
I see they've been so vague on purpose, I think, so they can turn around and be like, no, that's not what we meant. And that's like the law degree in me.
Yeah.
If you want to try and backtrack out or something, then you're just not vague. You're not like specific. So I think what it is that we all seen everything happen with Pornhub last year. I think it was MasterCard and Visa pulled out of them. And I think that's what's happening basically with OnlyFans, but they're not saying that. I think that's what's basically happened.
So what's the world like for you at the moment? Like, what does OnlyFans entail? Because that's the thing I get asked about most. People don't understand it. They see it from the outside. And I would imagine it's blokes mostly like, oh, it's just girls shagging. It's people selling themselves and all this stereotypical prejudice that, you know, we see. You must see it on social media all the time, right? What is it like? What do you do? Like, give people an insight into what your world's like.
Okay, so basically, to describe OnlyFans in like the easiest way, it's like following someone on Twitter or on Instagram, but to be accepted as a follower, you have to pay a fee. So you pay a subscription to see their content, basically. So it's not like readily available on Instagram kind of thing. It's like private. So I think that's what people like. It's kind of not tailored to you, but you know, you can see more of your favorite influencers, your favorite models, kind of thing. Stuff you're not allowed to post on Instagram. So you can post, well, up until 1st of October, you can post anything. So it can be from feet pictures to like full on explicit porn. Like there is no like you can do anything on there basically, as long as it's legal.
Yeah.
So that's what it's like. So obviously it's well known now for porn, pretty much. So that's what you get as soon as you say do OnlyFans. Like, oh god, no self-respect, no dignity. Like they don't ask what you put on there. They're like, oh, that's the girl that does OnlyFans. But it's like, I don't do the explicit stuff, but I still get. It's like we're all just tarnished with a brush, really. That's when I bring out, oh, actually, I've got a law degree, or like I stayed in school and stuff. And it's like an expensive party trick, because then when I say that to people, they're like, oh right, okay, but then they're like, oh, why haven't you used it, and why you done OnlyFans instead? And it's just, but yeah, to describe it, it's just basically taking pictures and videos and just creating content, and then you're having to use social media to try and advertise it. So it's just constantly like my life at the moment is just a constant circle of just taking pictures, hashtags, uploading them to social media, replying to comments, replying to DMs, trying to market my OnlyFans, trying to make money. It's just, and now especially because this whole new this time frame that we've got, the 1st of October, it's kind of like, right, September, I need to smash it because I don't know what's going to happen to the site. I don't know if it's going to go down the drain and no one's going to use it full stop. And then obviously I need to kind of like plan what I'm going to do in my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just smashing it, ready for Wales football. Got a load of football content coming up, so I'm just gonna try now and smash September and just see where it goes after.
So there's loads of things I want to meant to talk about there. Like there's other platforms, not just OnlyFans. So I don't subscribe to any. Like I'm not the sort of like I don't even you probably hear this all the time. Like like some people like love going to strip clubs and stuff like that. It's not my cup of tea. Like I'd rather meet a girl the old-fashioned way and chat to them in a bar. And even like dating apps, I was rubbish at dating apps. Like Instagram DMs, I was all right at. Did a bit of that's how I met my missus. Like, but other than that, like it's not for me. So I've never delved into actually what goes behind the paywall. But I do know that there's other platforms and stuff. So surely, if there's enough money being made, it won't go down the drain.
The only thing I'm thinking is, so I'm on Admire Me as well. Like I've been on that since I've been on OnlyFans about a couple of years.
Yeah.
Not as popular like now it is, but it's just hard because it's like having new supermarkets in your town, but you're used to one, so you're used to going to Tesco, and then there's all these other supermarkets, and someone else is telling you, no, go to these ones, but you love Tesco, you're used to Tesco,
Yeah.
you feel to Tesco, you trust it. So that's what's hard because it's the payments as well. People are going to be a bit uneasy about giving their card details to new websites and stuff. So it's going to be a challenge trying to convince people as well, because it's not even we're convincing them to sign up to our sites, we're convincing them to sign up to a different site that they've probably not used before.
Yeah.
So I know Admire Me, I think that's like well trusted. I've got people subscribed on that. But then I'm thinking as well, if it is this banking problem on one site, well, how's it not affecting the rest of them?
Yeah.
So it's gonna come round them all. I don't know how they'll manage to avoid it. So I think it's like a fucking time bomb. It's all gonna go one day.
Yeah, I think so. Like, where there's money, there'll be a solution, because I don't know how many creators there are in the world, but like even just a quick look on Twitter, there are fucking hundreds of thousands of girls doing, and I'm sure there's blokes, right? And I'm sure I might be wrong here, but I'm also sure that like people on OnlyFans have cooking channels and makeup channels and hair channels and sports channels and stuff. I don't think it's just 18 plus explicit sex.
That's
But
it. That's mad about it, because there is people that are doing stuff like that, and then that's what's bad with this whole new change as well. Because I'm thinking, would you personally subscribe to someone's like cooking channel? Like
I just go on YouTube.
Exactly. And it's like, I know people say that about porn, like you can just go online and get it for free, but it's like it's a bit different because it's more, it's people that wouldn't put it out there for free and stuff. But
And also they buy into your brand. They're buying into you.
That's it. And it's like the whole cooking thing. I don't know how they're expected to just survive on those subscriptions, because I doubt it's a lot.
I'd be fascinated to see. Like I've never really seen anyone. I did see. I think it was like on TikTok or something. It came across. And it was like a hair tutorial, which is ironic for me because I've got fuck all. But it was like a hair or makeup tutorial, and it was like subscribe to my OnlyFans. I was like, what? What is she like? Is she naked doing this, or like I don't get it. Like, mate, there's some fruity people in this world. I fucking know that.
Honestly, since starting it, I think I was quite naive when I first got on there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize there's literally, like, I'm not even joking, there's a fetish for like everything, and people request some mad stuff. Like once I finish it all, I will bring out a book just of the requests I've had.
Class. Give me a couple. Like,
okay, so one person had a fetish for balloons. Not joking.
But to do what with them though?
So just blowing them up and popping them. No joke, I swear down. And I was a bit like, oh, is this person like trying to see, is she this desperate for cash? Like she'll do it kind of thing. And so I was like, oh yeah, like what do you want me to do? So he described it, but he sent the money straight away. So he sent me like 20, I think it was $25 because you pay $5 a minute. So I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go and buy balloons. So I was like running around mold, like where the hell sells balloons? I'm gonna have to do this custom. So I had to well, my sister videoed me blowing the balloons, and he wanted me to like sit on the balloon and pop it. And I'm not joking, I nearly fell. I don't know, right? I don't know how I was doing it so wrong, but I was sitting on it, it wasn't popping. So my sister was having to like, she was crying, laughing, trying to be quiet because I'm trying to sell this video. I was getting annoyed that my bum wasn't big enough to pop a balloon. It's just like, that's the worst one, I think, because it was so stressful.
That like what the I don't know what someone gets at. Like, you know, when so like you said earlier about you don't do the explicit stuff. Like, what's the kind of the limit that you would go to, and then why don't you? Because I would imagine then that's where big money comes as well.
Yeah, so I'll do like up to topless. I do like a lot of implied topless as well. But it's just like it's hard because everyone's got a price and money is really tempting because I see these other girls and they're making tens of thousands a month, and it's just I need to think like I fully respect people that do it. Like I've got no problem against it. Like I wish I had the balls to do it, but I kind of think about, oh, what about the future? Because if I ever use that law degree, I'm already quite stuffed now because I've done OnlyFans. Like the further I go, the more I'm going away from the degree and going away from a normal job. It's just hard to come back from it. Once it's out there, you can't come back from it. So I've just tried to drill that into my head that if I ever wanted a normal job, like if I ever wanted to stop this, that I need to kind of protect myself. Because if you put my name in Google, enough stuff comes up now saying she's done OnlyFans, so I can never deny that. But so if I ever did like porn or explicit or anything like that, it'd just be at the end, I think.
Yeah, I kind of I understand that, and I get that from maybe like a career point of view, maybe even like a family of kids or whatever. But it depends how okay you are in yourself with that, right? But then 20 bags a month fucking talks.
No, I know. And I see, and the thing is though, some girls making like hundreds of thousands a month. They're making so much money.
So you don't need a law degree then?
That's it. They wouldn't need a job after. They could honestly retire. Some of them making millions. I'm sure one girl, she was like a famous influencer anyway, so she had a lot of Instagram followers and stuff. I'm sure she made $1 million in a month.
That's unbelievable. And what people don't realize, I think, because I see some of the hate that goes on just in some of my friends are models, so they don't even do OnlyFans, but they're just like model, and that people like get a real job. And like, if you pay tax, it's a job.
That is exactly that's
you guys pay tax from what like it's a normal paying job, isn't it?
That's what annoys me because I understand it's not your usual job. And I remember like, when YouTubers started and bloggers, they got the same, like, oh, it's not a real job. And now everyone wants to be a YouTuber. So it's like, oh, you're not saying everyone wants to be on OnlyFans, but everyone will want to do alternative careers that aren't 9 to 5. But that's what
the same as this.
Yeah, that's
podcast. People think it's easy. I'm like, bruv, it takes 20 hours a week.
Really? Exactly.
And editing videos, creating the content, posting on social media. On top, I do have a 9 to 5, so on top of that as well. Like I love doing it, but I'm quite empathetic of some of the struggles that you might go through because I probably hear it a little bit differently in terms of I've got quite a good rack to be fair, but I'm not getting it out. but this people are like, that's not a job. I'm like, you do it then.
That is it, because it's like they don't understand. Like you prime example now, you are basically a business, but you are the business. So you are like HR, you are marketing, advertising, you are research and development, you are everything. You're accountant, you're all of it. You're like a one-man band by yourself.
Do you get? There's loads I want to touch on, right? Do you get how actually start at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You went. I saw that you kind of went for like Miss Wales, the finalist when you were 16. So you were obviously okay in your body and confident enough to be able to go and express yourself in that way. What was that journey like from like a young girl in an increasingly body conscious and prejudiced society, kind of growing up and social? I don't know how old you are now. If you want to say, you don't have to say, but over the last few years, social media has become so much more prevalent. So to kind of go through this journey, like, how did you get that through? How did you go through that journey? When did you then start turning that into content and the glamour modeling, and then come on to OnlyFans?
So basically, when I was like, say 15, 16, I was doing beauty pageants, and it wasn't like, but it wasn't my mum and dad's idea. Like, in America, it's very like a family thing.
Yeah.
I just remember one day I thought, oh, you know what? Like, I'd love to do something like that. I'll just give it a go. And I used to do like fashion photo shoots in Chester and stuff, nothing big. And then they were like, oh, why don't you try this? So I thought, right, I'm going to go for it. I didn't end up doing Miss Wales. I was a finalist, and then I had to pull out last minute because you have to pay like £600. Yeah. So
I
you have
didn't
to
know that.
you have to find sponsors for these beauty pageants. So some of them you pay an entry fee, some of them you have to get a sponsor. So they wanted £600, and obviously it's hard to find £600 for someone just to sponsor you to do something. So I pulled out because I couldn't find a sponsor, and I did Miss Teen Earth instead in Birmingham because they only wanted £100, and I had a sponsor
Yeah.
for that. And it's just like, it was just that kind of thing. And then I carried on doing it. I was doing photo shoots. And then when you get to 18, it's hard because you're in adult categories then in these pageants. And when you're an adult, there's a minimum height restriction. And I don't know if you've seen, but I'm very small. I'm 4'11".
Are you? I knew you were
I know I'm quite a catfish.
short, but I didn't know you were that short.
I know it's bad, but so like even like Miss Earth, they want you to be 5'7", because they were messaging me on Instagram. They were like, "Why didn't you compete in the adult section?" And I was like, "I'm 4'11", and they were like, "Oh right, you need to be 5'7". So you couldn't even fake that, could you? Like, so I had to quit pageants, and then they were like, "Oh." Like I was just speaking to one photographer, and he was like, "I think the only way you're going to make money now, because even fashion photography wanted tall models, catwalks want tall models. It's like, I think the only way you're going to make money is if you do swimwear."
Why do you have to be? Why
I
do you have to be 5'7"?
I don't know. Because so many girls aren't that tall. Like girls are, like well, all my
Yeah,
friends are very short. So it's handy for me because I'm really short. But
yeah.
this it's hard. Like, and you can't even, no heels is going to make you like.
Nah, a
So
foot taller.
exactly. So I was like, oh, I'll have a think about it. Went to uni then, and obviously uni took over, and I didn't really have time for anything else. And by the time I got to third year, I was like, oh, I don't want to be doing, like, I didn't really, I liked my degree. I didn't know why I chose it. It's just I was under the impression everyone had to get a degree, not going to get a job if you don't get one.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll just do law. So that was great. Great punishment to myself.
I was
So
about to say that's a tough. It's a tough one to do. That is.
pause. So I was speaking to my mum and dad, and I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. But it's kind of like I'd got to the point where I was so close to finishing, it was like I might as well finish. So
Yeah.
like I'll graduate, and my mum and dad like, just graduate and then you can do whatever you want then. So I was like, oh, I want to try the underwear modelling for a year, and then if it doesn't go anywhere, then I won't bother. Like, and then at least then I can turn around and say I've tried. And to be fair, they both turned around and they were like, you spoke to us first, it's fine. It's not something you can turn around in 20 years and be like, oh, I'm going to give it a go now. Like, you need to do it now.
Yeah.
So you never know, it could be a fetish for that in 20 years, who knows? But
There must be, like, I'm gonna look on
probably
OnlyFans and see like old grannies or something.
that's it. So I was like, right, I'll try it for a year. And then just before, I don't know if I wasn't even that long into it, people were messaging me like, why don't you put the content on OnlyFans? Because I was just putting on Instagram just to see if I could
Yeah.
get work from that. And then I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's just like explicit stuff, isn't it? And then one follower was like, no, all sorts go on there. Like, you can do anything. So I started selling it on that, and obviously people were subscribing, and I was like, oh my god, like I can actually make money out of this if I like pull my finger out and smash it. Then I just stuck to it that way. And it's hard because obviously you get a lot of trolling on social media, and I was on, like, I'm 24 now, so it's been a few years, like, but now when you see social media, I'm glad I didn't grow up with it. It's back, like, Facebook and stuff was around when I was in high school, and Instagram, but it was still like, you know, it wasn't a child. I didn't have to see all these like plastic surgeries and stuff like that all the time. Like, I see it now, and I'm like, if you growing up seeing that and you think, oh, like the likes of Kim K, love Kim K, but if you're seeing bodies like that, which is you won't be able to achieve naturally, you're gonna think,
No.
God, I want to look like her. I want the surgeries. And I think it's, social media is quite dangerous at the moment with stuff like that. And so I'm just glad I didn't grow up around it, because it can do a lot of damage. And I think it's really underestimated how much damage you can do to girls, in boys as well. What's worse is with the boys and males and stuff, it's like there's a stigma around it as well. So it's like, not, you know, when you think of eating disorders and stuff like that, you automatically think, oh, girls, but people forget that it affects both sexes, like it affects males as well. So it's just, no, it's going to be social media at the moment. It's not I'm not a fan. If I didn't have to use it for work, then I wouldn't be on it.
It's interesting. I feel like that sometimes with Facebook and stuff. Like, I love Twitter because it is the gift that keeps on giving, but at the same time, it's like one of the most vile things going. Like, Instagram is much nicer, but then I don't get. I've been trolled a few times, like, but I don't get trolled loads. Like, I don't know. No one cares about me because I'm small and insignificant. I don't have a massive following like you. Like, no bullshit. Now, when you were growing up, were you like a bit frisky or like with the lads and stuff? And like, did you always kind of keep yourself to yourself? Because again, like, I feel that everyone's kind of got this attitude of, she's on OnlyFans, she must be a shagger.
That's
and
it.
like,
Yeah, I do get that a lot, but it's something like the opposite, because it's like, to me now, and nothing against men, but I've had it all. Like, I've had all sorts of messages. I get all sorts of dick pics sent to me. I get requests for everything. It doesn't put you off, but I'm just like, just more not bothered by it. Like, male attention and stuff, I'm just not bothered. And I'm sick of, like, even on Tinder, like, I'm on Tinder, don't know why, but I know why we're doing this. But it's just, all I'm getting is, oh, you're just here to sell your OnlyFans. And I'm like, oh, I give up, because I'm like, if that's all you think about when you see, because I don't even mention it on my profile. And I'm just, if that's all you see me for, then I can't be bothered. So no, it's really done the opposite. Just, I've got no time. And my friends are all like happy in relationships and stuff, but I see it and I'm like, I'm bothered. It's just too.
I suppose you see the worst of the male and social media in general, the male race, and just, I suppose, what they have to offer. And I can imagine that it takes a really secure bloke to not be intimidated by you probably earning more money. You 100% earn more money than me, and I'm 10 years older than you, because I've seen some of the figures and stuff. Like, but it takes a secure guy to be able to go, yeah, my missus does OnlyFans. Yeah, she gets her rack out. She's fucking happy. She makes her own money. She can buy her own house. She can do this. She can pay for her own holiday. She can do whatever she fucking wants. Like, I know she's with me every night, so I don't fucking care. But it takes a big man to do that. Like,
that's it. And what's worse is, I think it's because, like, obviously there have been like a few people I've met that have been like, yeah, I'm fine with it, which has been great. But then I've also had people that have been like, oh, I'm fine with it. Then if we've argued, they've just thrown it all
comes up.
It's like, oh, there we go, it was all fake then. But it's just, I don't know. And it's worse because I live in such a small town. It's kind of like everyone knows what everyone does anyway. Like, if you whatever you buy in Tesco, people can know what you're buying. So it's just like, I think that's stopped me from meeting someone as well, because it's just, if you go to Spoons, you're gonna be like, oh, aren't you
she is.
that does that, like, so it's just,
Do you ever, two things on that doesn't change, even if I live in Cardiff, mate, it doesn't change.
No.
If I do something, someone else fucking ends up telling me the story they've heard about it.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
that's the fucking same anyway, right? And I'm not even famous. Like, you're pretty social media famous, and in a little town like Mold, I can imagine you're the big news, right? But do you ever get like people who chance their arm thinking they're? I've never been up there. I don't know what it's like, right? But do you ever get people who are kind of like, oh, you know, there's a tenner, get your tits out? It's like, it's physically in person, not just online as well.
And people have been like, oh, can I not pay cash for it now and stuff? And you're just like, you know, it does my head in, because it's like, that's work me. This is normal me on a night out. Leave me alone. Like, people come up to me being like, oh, I've paid for that round. You know, I'm like, no, I haven't. I've just paid. And then they're like, no, I subscribe. And you're like, oh, great, thanks. Like, cheers. It really didn't. I don't care. Like,
I'd be like,
time.
mate, I'd be like, right, if you want to talk to me again, 20 quid.
Yeah, you can pay me. Leave me alone.
Yeah. No, honestly, I'd just fucking milk it for all it's worth.
I am like, now I've got the attitude. I was a bit like, it's really hit and miss with me. Sometimes I'm all like, oh my god, yeah, that's what I do. I don't care. Like, leave me alone. I'm happy. And then other times, like, oh my god, I'll have a panic and I'll be thinking, oh my god, this is what I do. Like, what am I gonna do? What if this all ends, and like, you know, about meeting someone, and I panic. And then like, now I'm a bit more like, you know what? I could potentially just have a month left doing it. I'm just gonna go all out, just past it, just gonna smash it, and then just
See
see.
what happens.
Yeah, but it's been hard living here doing it, because no one that I know of is doing it either. Like, I think because I did it early on, when it was still early days, I got a lot of flack for it, and you know, I got the most shit. But now when girls join, it's like more the norm. Like, OnlyFans is a bit more accepted. And I'm not jealous, but I'm just a bit like, you know what? People like me that were down there early have had to deal with the shit for you to be able to do it. Like, now it's like more accepted for people to do it. It's like, well, yeah, but when I started, it wasn't, and we got like we got trolled basically for doing it. And I always remember that, especially people around here, because I used to get comments like, oh, as if you're on that, and like lads being like, oh, I wouldn't speak to you now, and it's like, yeah, cool.
Whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, why don't you? Have you ever thought about moving? Not so much to get away from the crap, because you'll probably get that wherever you go now because of the social following, but more about opportunity to grow and do something different and get away and start fresh away from work.
I have thought about that, because it's just I'm so close to my family, which is hard. But recently, because I'm ready to leave, I'm ready to move out. Like, I've got my tax returns done. Got a really nice bill from HMRC this year.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Hey, it's tough at the top, pal.
I didn't expect it. I was like, oh, it'll be like, I had a figure in my head, so I had the money put aside, and then it was like 2 times that and a bit more. And I was like, I rang my mum and I was like, Mum, oh my god, like, look, this is what they're asking for. And even my mum was like, oh, Alaw, I'm stinging and all this. And I was like, well, I can't really be like, I'm not paying it.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I've had the joys of that. So it's just finding somewhere now. But this blinking house price thing is a joke.
Mental.
I went to see a couple of weeks ago, and the house itself, it was a wreck, right? It was a doer-upper.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do something like that, so I was like, perfect for me. And they were asking for like 100,000. I'm not even joking, right? It had like, it wasn't even worth half that. But even though, like, even the estate agents is like, people they're just chancing it. They know people are gonna pay the high price, so they're just putting a ridiculous price on stuff. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll rent. And I did think like Manchester or somewhere, because I know it sounds a bit sad, but here everyone knows what you're doing. But then if I was in somewhere like Manchester, no one cares. You're
exactly
there. And it's like, you know, you could say that, oh yeah, I do OnlyFans, and they wouldn't care. They'd just be like, oh yeah, cool. So does everyone else.
It's so diverse up in Manchester, so multicultural. It's so big. No one cares, mate. No one gives a shit.
But like, my sister, she's moved to Cardiff and she loves it.
Get down here, pal.
Yeah, no, I've been saying to her, I'm gonna go and see her soon. Wales is playing, aren't they? So I'm gonna go and see Wales as well. Kill 2 birds, 1 stone, and then Yeah, so I've spent some time with her, I think, because it's nice because I see her and I think, like, oh, I want to do something like that. I just move out, but it's just finding where, really, at the moment.
The world is bigger than North Wales, mate.
That's
like there's nothing stopping you doing what you do in Bali, spending £12 a day.
That's exactly. I'd love to go to Bali.
So why don't you?
Go. It's just the COVID as well. It's like double whammy. It's like house prices, COVID. They just want me to be in this bedroom. I swear.
But mate, it's an investment.
Yeah, it is. To be fair.
Because how much happier might you be?
Yeah.
The world is only a flight away. So if you're creating content in your bedroom, why can't you create content next to a fucking palm tree with a cocktail in your hand, which just cost you £1?
That's true, actually. Yeah.
I am open for any business meetings. I'll happily take a percentage cut. Like, I'll make you tons of money, mate.
Great idea.
Mate, that's what I would do. I've got a little girl here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I'd be somewhere else. Like, the world's bigger. Like, I'm lucky my family live abroad and stuff, so I get to go and see it. But like, I'm from Plymouth. I moved up to Cardiff, but in the 2 years before that, I lived in a little village in Cornwall.
Yeah.
Great friends. I went to school with them. I've still got friends from that. But I'm a city person. I need things around me. I need energy. I need it to be buzzing. And I just couldn't do that. Like in some of the places, like, you know, where you live, I just don't think I could do it.
No. I know, it's like you outgrow somewhere, I think, as well. I think
completely.
What's worse is, and I never ever seen it, and it's like, you know, you've got ambition and motivation and stuff like that, and then it's like, this is the box of what normal people want, and then if like, you'll have certain individuals that are outside the box, but then you don't fit the image of like area. It's just people don't like that you want more kind of things.
Yeah.
You just outgrow the area that you're in. And that's what I feel like. It's just I've seen like it's just I feel like he's a bit behind the times as well because of like
it's okay to let it go as well. Like people go, oh, she's snobby, she's done this, she's done that. And you don't pay my fucking bills, mate.
That's
your
it.
Your opinion doesn't pay my bills. Like I'm going to explore what I want to, like, fuck off.
Yeah, that is literally
you come to Cardiff, your parents are only 4 hours away. You go to Bali, it's only a flight away.
Exactly.
You're there the next day. Like, and if you're earning that much fucking cash, it doesn't matter if the flight is $2,000 or $3,000 because you're earning it. So
that's it. You know, if you've still got the money coming in, then it's like, well, why not?
Yeah, I'd get it done, pal. I'd love to chat about, you said about some of the messages you get and stuff like that. Like, what's like the most mental amount of money you've been offered to do something? I'm fascinated by people, right, who see. I'm not fascinated by this, actually. That sounds wrong, but like, it baffles me that people with money think they can just throw money at something and expect it to happen. Like you're an object. And look, don't get me wrong, when I was growing up, I was a proper rugby lad. I was a bell end. I've 100% treated girls badly, spoken to them badly, whatever. But like, it's different. I've got a daughter and I've kind of grown up a bit. Oh, are you there?
I get, what did I get? So
Hello?
I got, can you hear me now?
Oh, it froze then.
Oh, did it? Right. Of these stats.
Yeah. You say that again.
So basically, it's like it's this whole meeting thing. So you're not allowed to discuss meeting or anything on OnlyFans. And I don't do meets. I don't even know what you'd call that, but I don't know if it's escorting or what. But so I don't offer it. And it's like this one person was like, I'll give you like, I think it's like £2,000 to meet me. And I was like, I don't want to. No. I've said no like 3 times. I don't want to. Well, how much then? It's like, this is what does my head in. It's like, I said no. Why are you still trying to? It's not a please convince me. It's I've said no. So that's just mainly meat. So it's like 2,000 for that. People have sent money for weird stuff, but like, what did I get? Someone sent me, I think it was like 50, a tip of $50, and was just like, I wish you were my sister. I was just like,
What was the next sentence? Like, he wishes he could still bath you or something?
I was just like, okay. And then what did someone sent me once for my food shop. So he didn't really like that. I don't think he liked that. I was a bit like, I'm not slim. So obviously I eat shit all the time. I love food, so I don't care.
I love food, bruv. I've got a massive job at the moment.
I love food. It makes me so happy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't want abs anyway. And this
Yeah.
person was like, oh, are you going to do a healthy food shop? So I was like, yeah, but it's so expensive. And he was like, do you want me to send you some money? And I was like, yeah, I do. And I was at Tesco. I was with my mum at the time as well. And I was like, I'll see if he sends me any money. Thinking he'd send me like 20 quid. He sent me like £135. So I was like there in Tesco with mum. I was like, what am I buying today? And just stuff like that. I'm like, fine. I don't mind. But
what do your parents say about stuff like that? Like,
mum just thinks she's like, oh, hello. Like, if I say something, because she doesn't understand. She's like, oh, if he's sending you that money, what's he expecting? And I'm like,
yeah,
nothing. You can piss off. Like you said, it's for food. It's for food shop. Reference just food shop. So if he tries to come after me, I'll be like, no, I was paid for my food.
or you'll like send a picture like with a banana like covering your nipples or something like that.
I sent a picture of like my basket and had like my mum had put blueberries and stuff in it. Then I just sent a picture of that and I was like, got some fruit.
What the fuck?
Honestly, people are just mental. And it's just, yeah, this just gift you money, but it'll be like some of them will be like, oh, I don't want to subscribe, like I'll send you some money. Can you send me some content? And I'd stuff like that, I don't mind. Like I'll do it. Well, if I trust them, then I'll be like, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, they just it's just weird. There's all sorts of stuff now. Like I was looking into it, this whole pay pig business, because a lot of girls are doing it, and a lot of girls I know are doing it recently on Twitter. Twitter's massive for it.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I was like, one person, I don't like being nasty. I'm not nasty, and yet some of them want you to be nasty to them. Don't they?
Yeah.
I'm just
Like dominate him.
yeah, and I don't like it, and but I'm like, I have to learn, because a lot of girls are like, oh, look at this piece of shit, he's only sent me like 80 quid or something, and then they'll just like get another £100 or something off them.
What the fuck?
So if you see me randomly starting tweeting like, look at this man with a small dick, only send me a tenner, then you'd be like, oh wow, she's not doing well on them lessons, is she?
Mate, my missus is a nurse, right, in the hospital. I've said to her, just do it. Just fucking do it. Like, she's in good nick. She's fit. Like, just fucking do it. But she's like, I would never be able to nurse again. Like,
that's what's grim about it. Like, that's what I do hate, because, you know, especially, does she work for the NHS?
yeah.
So this is what, right? So we all know, I think everyone's in agreement, you know, NHS underpaid. So then,
Yeah.
but they don't have time, like,
Yeah.
to get another job, because they
No.
have to give all their time to the NHS. So they
Yeah.
could do something like this on the side to get more cash to supplement what they're not earning anyway. But then they'd lose their jobs, because there is a few stories. It's mainly in America, like teachers are doing it on the side and then being caught out. Nurses
Yeah.
caught out. But it's like, well, pay them more then. Pay them more, and they won't have to. Because a lot of girls that are on, well, and males as well, that are on OnlyFans, like a lot of them were like, I used to work in like a fast food place, and when I started it, so I was working in fast food, and I worked another retail job, and I was doing OnlyFans, and it was like, oh my god, I'm literally having to work 2 jobs like this to support me in 2 jobs. But if everyone just paid a decent wage, we wouldn't need stuff like this. So,
but the thing is, if you want to do it. Like,
yeah,
it's not that you don't need stuff like this. It's just, it should just be a bit more acceptable, I suppose, because like, people get paid to create content if you're in music or in film or whatever. We're in a different world now, I suppose. Like,
and I do hope, like, this year, by the end of this year, maybe start next year, it'll be more just people not caring about, or like just not being judgy. When this is what I hate about the whole trolling thing. Like, I'm gonna assume you're a normal person. I'm gonna say I'm a normal person, normal-ish.
I try. I'm a
But,
bit of a cannon, but I try.
but then it's like, so you wouldn't think to send someone a nasty message or a nasty comment.
No.
I wouldn't. I would like to think like my friends, my family wouldn't, because we're all normal. I don't understand what is in people's brains to make them think, you know what, I'm going to comment on this. I'm going to take 2 minutes out of my day to think of something nasty and I'm going to say it to them. I just hope stuff like that comes to an end as well, because I'm so...
What do you experience then in terms of trolling on social media? And you said about your body image isn't like what some people might desire, for example, or whatever. Like, I wouldn't say you're big by any stretch, but I know what you mean. Like, some people want that size 6 massive rack, like the perfect, in their mind, that's their perfect ideology of a girl, which isn't necessarily normal.
That's it, yeah.
What sort of online trolling stuff do you get then?
So I always get, it's like an easy thing that I can get a lot of comments about the weight.
But then why do they follow you?
That's it. That's up to my head in. Like, someone, I'd ignored their messages on I think, don't remember if it was Instagram or what now. Just hadn't opened their messages because it was in requests. So then obviously they were like asking to take me out, saying I was fit, blah, blah, blah. And obviously because I hadn't replied, it turned into, well, you're just a fat fucker anyway. You wanted to take me out like a week ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you'd have replied going, come over tonight, they'd have been there fast as a shot.
I won't be fat then, would I?
Exactly.
Weight's always like the one. And then the thing is, though, I'm at the point where I'm like, I've tried to diet, like I've lost a bit of weight. Like, I've never been big, but I lost a bit, but I did it for me, didn't do it for the trolls. Yeah. And then it's still like that they're still commenting. Even if the thing is, even if you're like a size 4, then they'd be like, you're too skinny. Oh, you're too skinny, there's nothing of you. So you'd never win anyway. But it's always weight. There's always the whole, oh, she's got no self-respect, and oh, where's the dignity? That's what does my head in as well, because it's like, I don't care. Like, it's me to judge if I've got self-respect. It's not, like, this is what I want to do. I'm respecting myself, because if I want to do something, I'm supporting myself to do it, kind of thing. And what else do I get? Yeah, that's because I did a newspaper article. It came out this week, and the journalist even messaged me and was like, "Oh, I hope you're all right, because you've had a lot of like trolling comments." But it was just like, "Oh, she's a prostitute. Oh, it's just a lazy form of prostitution. Self-respect, and I could pay for better elsewhere and stuff like that." It's just,
go on then.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean. Go about your day. Why do you need to comment? Why do you need
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It baffles me.
Because that's why, like, now, if I see someone doing something well, or, if someone's put something up like, oh, I did this today, I'll message them and I'll be like, well done you, like, well done, because, you can imagine how many people will be negative about it, and it brings people down, and which I can see why. But it just does my head in, because it's like, I've never trolled anyone, like, why would you? I think it's weird. Why would I message someone and be like, oh, you're ugly, lol, or something? Like, why would I need to do that?
Mate, I don't get it. Like, how is your mental health then? Because repeatedly going through this for years and years, like, it would break some people, and I can imagine that all the money in the world doesn't make them feel better about it, because they might start believing it. So, how is the mind? Like, how are you with it all? Like, you're laughing it off now, but genuinely, is that you, or do you hide things?
Well, but obviously at the start, the whole OnlyFans, when I started it, because it was so, oh my god, she's doing that, it was hard, because I was just, it was like the talk of the town as well. So I was just getting all sorts of people being like, oh, blah 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 said this, or blah 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 said that, and I was getting messages and stuff. So it's hard to start, and then you kind of, like, it was like, if you could like feel like your skin like thickening like through it all. And then obviously after Young Welsh and Boss and it came out, there was like a lot of newspaper articles. Like, one had posted a story, and I wasn't involved in any of them, and then it just spread. Like, I remember I was out at the time. My friend sent me a link and was like, look, you're in the newspaper, and I was like, oh, no way, like, wasn't bothered. But then there was another one that I picked up, another one, and it went everywhere. And then it went to like legal newspapers and stuff, being like, oh, this law graduate. And then it was just so many comments, because I did the mistake. That was my mistake. I read the comments, and even my mum was like, you need to stop reading them, because people were ripping me. They were bad. So that was like, when was that? May? I think May, that was bad at the time. Like, I was upset then because I don't know why. I was doing it to myself because I was reading them. And like all my friends are like, oh, like they've been really good. Like ever since I've said I want to do OnlyFans, not once been like, oh my God, as if you're doing that or anything. They've all been great. But no, then that was hard. But it was kind of like, it's shit because as much as you shouldn't, but if you're gonna put yourself out there, you kind of need to accept that you're gonna get it as well. And that's what even people commenting that being like, well, what did she expect? Did she expect everyone to be nice and stuff? So no, that was hard. Now, because obviously I've had to deal with it, I flipped it over and I was like, this time when I come out, I know I shouldn't like retaliate, I shouldn't. But there was people on there giving me shit. And I was reading the comments and like my friends were already on it because, I'd like to say I'm a nice girl. I wouldn't, I'm not a bitch or anything. Like I'm not nasty or anything. And people commenting stuff like, call me a prostitute or calling me this and calling me that and being like, blah, blah, blah. And my friends are like, oh my God, you don't even know her. Like, she's a nice girl. Like, leave her alone. Like, she'd never say anything to you. And there was this one woman, she did make me laugh. And because she was giving me shit, but she had her job listed, who she worked for, and her profile picture was pictures of her with keep smiling, be kind next to it.
No,
And I was like, I'm not being funny, but your picture literally says that. You're meant to be this as a job and you're giving someone shit online. And she was like, yeah, I'm proud of my job, blah, 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 blah. So I've just screenshotted it all because I'm just like, people, it's just like,
that's what I would do. I would screenshot it and just tag them in.
Honestly,
thanks for your opinion.
It's like, oh, do I, don't I? Because then I'm like, oh, I might
do
be.
it. Just fucking do it.
That's
what fucking do it. Why not? They'll soon stop.
People need to learn, don't they? They need to learn. Like, I think
because then they'll turn it around and go, "You're a bully for doing that because you've got a following."
Yeah.
Oh no! Like it serves you right. You're being the bully. I've stood up to you.
Yeah, that's it. And it's like people need to learn with social media as well how to use it. And I think there should be. It sounds stupid, but in schools they need to come down on the kids, especially strong, because we need to start somewhere. Like high schools being like, don't be fucking nasty because mental health and everything now, because everyone's all for mental health. I'm all for,
Caroline Flack, stuff like that. It's all like everyone's saying be kind, and then the following week, like, look at that dickhead. Like I see it a lot with rugby in Wales because we've got a lot of mates who play, so I see a lot of it, and I can't, like, they're the fucking best in the world one week, and then the next week fucking dog shit. Like I know some of the boys' misses who have had threats and stuff. Like,
you know what I mean?
Just because someone might have dropped a ball or missed a tackle or they've lost the game or whatever.
Yeah, but that's what I know, stuff that I hate, because why do you care? Why does it?
Yeah.
You can be gutted, like I was gutted about the Euros, but I didn't go online and said, oh my God, what the fuck? And I didn't message them all. Like, who's got time? Obviously, like, why do you care that much? But why do you care that much to do something? So I do think they need to really come down. And I do think I know there's been a lot of debates about IDs and stuff for they need to do some. I think, especially children, because children are fucking nasty. The amount of comments I get from kids on TikTok that absolutely rip the shit out of me. And I'm just like, cheers for that. No need, thanks.
And to their mum, mate.
Always kids. And I'm like, oh, they should have like their parents' IDs attached to their profiles or something. So it's if you say something fucking nasty, your mum and dad know about it. Because if I said something nasty to someone online and my mum and dad knew about it, oh my God, I would get a right telling off. I wouldn't be allowed my phone. So it's like they happen. But yeah, they need to do something, and they need to do something about all these fake profiles on Tinder as well. They need to be ID'd. But yeah.
I've had a missus for 3 years now, but when I was on Tinder, I fucking hated it, mate. Because with Tinder, like, I don't know, as a bloke, it's like, it's for a girl as well. But if a girl isn't like necessarily like, and I'm going to say this in the right way because I'm not Brad Pitt or anything by any stretch, right? But if a girl isn't necessarily the best looking, but she's got a banging body, she will still get loads of swipes.
Yeah. 100%.
Or the other way around, right? It's fact, that is. But like as a bloke, like there's better looking boys. Like, I like to think I'm quite funny or whatever. So when I was single, I'd have to have like some interaction with that person to get to know them a little bit, to then chat to them and like kind of charm them a bit, like just old school, like, you know. So on Tinder, then, like, if I'm looking like a bag of sick, I'm not getting any fucking likes. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's what's shit about it. It's all looks, isn't it, as well?
yeah,
It's looks, and it shouldn't be, because it is literally, looks fade. But I'm banned from everything else, so I have to use Tinder.
just move, mate. Just move.
I know. I'll be sitting, you'll see me, I'll be sat. The thing is, though, it's quite funny because my friend Karen, shout out to Karen, she'll be like, "You want like a nice man, like I don't want like a rich man or anything, but I want someone that's just got ambition and something going for him, like, like a good job or something." So then it's like we'd be like a team together, building an empire, not like me supporting him or him supporting me like financially. And she's like, "You say all this, but you will be in Wetherspoons and Mould on a Saturday night expecting to meet this person."
Who obviously isn't there.
I'm like,
What happens?
I know.
What happens if like you get, I don't know, say you get a DM right from a fan or whatever who might subscribe, might not, but you look at him and go, "Good looking boy, like seems to have a good job, seems to be in a decent crowd, pictures look all right." Like, what happens then? Do you go after that, or do you just go, "Nah, it's not worth it"?
I've been like, I do date and stuff, but I just, at the moment, I've had so many bad dates. Like,
Yeah,
even my friends, like, "How are you so unlucky?" Like, I don't know. I just manage. Even when I think I'm picking like a nice lad, and I'll be, "Oh yeah, go on, we'll go for a coffee or something." Ends up being a fucking weirdo, or like something weird will happen on the date. I've got a list on my phone of weird Tinder dates, because like,
so I want to see it.
honestly, right, let me try and pick a good one, because
The thing, I think the dating, right? Like as I was growing up, it was always dinner and drinks, and like so cliche, isn't it? But like coffee dates are underrated, mate. Just get to know each other for a little bit, suss each other out, and then if it's not right, nah, come back, see you later.
exactly, that's what I like it, because people are like, "Oh, do you want to do this or do you want to do that?" I'm like, "I'd rather sit with you for a bit, see if there's a vibe there, and then if there isn't, don't waste each other's time." Like, I don't want to be speaking to you for like a year or two, and then it
Yeah,
ends in
texting for like 12 weeks and then it goes nowhere. What a waste. That's what I hated. But then I was also bad just going, "Come over the house, I'll cook for you. Fucking see you later," like, you know.
like some that like come around to the house, and I've done that before. I'm like, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, fine, whatever." Like to fit around work or anything, and then you go there and they don't even offer you food or a drink, so you
Oh,
just like
bruv,
pack. Like,
mate, like steak, onion rings, like wedge, like, oh, there's got to be some
oh,
decent
that's
food.
what I want. That's what I
Yeah.
need. What did I have? Oh yeah, one took was like, I've already planned our kids' names, and I was like, that's fair enough. Like, sometimes that can be cute, but I was just like,
Yeah.
then he took me to the school where our kids were gonna go, and I was like, okay. And then, but
What
it
were
was
the,
it was like not just like, oh, it's that school there. He parked in the car park and he was like, "So that's the gym. This is that bit." And I was like sat there thinking, I've not even had this coffee yet, and I want to get out the car.
that's weird. I'd get out. Like, that's strange.
Oh my
Probably
god.
shouldn't be, probably shouldn't be allowed around schools, that guy.
I was sat there like,
Weird.
so, yeah, then like it's just I've had all just people like one, I'd gone to his house. He was like, "Do you mind taking your shoes off?" I was like, "It's fine, I do that in my house, that's normal." And he was like, "Oh, I'll take them off for you." And I was like, "Okay, if you really want." Then he took my sock off and sucked my thumb. And I
Oh,
was like there,
what?
and I didn't know what to do, because I was like, "Oh my god, what the hell?" I was messaging my friends and I was like, "Code red, someone ring me screaming, crying right now, please." All my friends were busy. And I'm not even joking, I don't have many friends, it made me sound like I've got a lot of friends, but all the girls were busy, and I was like, "Please, will someone bloody call me?" So I had to like lie and be like, my friend's text saying, I don't even remember what it said. "She's outside mine crying, she split up with a fella or something." And he was like, "Oh, so do you need to go?" And I was like, "I need to go right now, right now." So
But also, like, what sort of bloke as a girl that comes over the house? Like, because if a girl's going to come over the house, most of the time you're like, you might be onto something here, right?
that's it.
Why would you just suck her toe? Like, if you waited an hour, probably could have done that in the bedroom anyway.
It's just like, oh, it's
Not that
not.
that's my thing. Like,
No, but
feet and
that's it.
toes aren't my thing, but
you would have eased me into it a bit, but not straight away. I was a bit like, oh god.
Yeah, like that's like just going in dry. You just don't ever do it. Like spend a little bit of time with the foreplay.
Oh, because I came home, my sister was like, that was quick, and I was like, oh, you don't want to know what's happened. And she was like, oh my god, why, what's happened? I was like, my poor soul has been violated.
It actually makes me feel sick, mate.
I think it was just like, oh, cringe. I had all sorts. There was one that was arguing with me. We went out in Liverpool because I went to uni Liverpool, and his ex was like sat on the table like
Oh god.
and it was really awkward. And then he was like commenting on my boobs, and we were having a full on argument because he was like, why have you lied about having fake boobs? And I was like, I haven't. And he was like, you have, you can tell. And I was like, I'm not being funny. If these were fake, I'd bloody ask for a refund. Like, and I was like, they're usually like up here, we're like down there. And I was like, they're not fake. And we were arguing. His ex was there looking at us. So it was no, it was just embarrassing. So I didn't go on any more Liverpool dates.
I love you just ticking off a whole city because of one bad date.
Gone.
See you later. What's the future then, pal? What's happening? What's going on?
Well, I need to see what's going to happen with OnlyFans. Like, I'm going to try and carry on. I'm going to carry on until I'm stopped, and then when that does happen, I might go to Miami. But I do, like, I've got not loads of money, but a bit of money behind me, and I want to kind of think now, like, I'm getting to the old age of 24, 25 next year.
Fucking hell, pal.
Start thinking about my life. But no, it's just stuff like I haven't got pensions. I haven't got, I haven't thought about the future. I'm all for living for now, but
Let me tell you a little thing there, right?
well,
I only sorted out all of my stuff this year and I'm 35.
okay, so basically you're telling me spend your money and I like it.
So, mate, I wouldn't say I'm a model citizen on this because I pissed away a lot of money in my 20s, but like do it, but you got to enjoy yourself as well. Like it's not going to, also 1 week you'd get the lot done.
That's true. Yeah, that
You
is
could do, you could literally get a will sorted today.
Yeah.
You can get life insurance and all that sorted today. A few hours admin, you're done.
See, that's what I was thinking the other day. I was just talking to my sister about this. I was like, say if I died just like suddenly or whatever, what the fuck happens to my OnlyFans? And all my pictures, all my videos, everything.
You'd give. The thing is, you'd just get a will done. Stuff that's easy.
I was thinking, and I'm gonna be like, someone please. So like either Beth, my best mate, or my sister, you're having a laptop and my phone, one each. You can clear all the nudes off there. My family don't need to see them. Please don't have any funeral.
Mate, well, you want to get your sister to sell them.
Oh yeah. Well, I've actually got notes on my phone being like instructions, and I've said, but if you want to keep the OnlyFans going, because I feel like some people would feel too bad to cancel it because they'll be like, oh, she's died, it's a bit sly, but you could still cash out a bit.
I love that. You're making $3,000 a month from still.
And people might be into it. I don't know, maybe.
Fucking no, that's brutal. That is.
But I was just like, oh, that's probably. I've been thinking like get a house somewhere, but it's just too expensive. So I'd like to go somewhere like Bali, but it's just my sister's finishing uni this year in Cardiff, so it's the third year. She's finishing next year, and she might come traveling with me, or if I'm already out there, she could come and meet me. I just need to do it. Yeah, I need to scout.
It's a no-brainer, mate.
Mm.
It's a no-brainer. Sort your will out with life insurance. Get on a fucking plane.
Yeah.
Keep getting your rack out. Keep fucking killing it. Keep making money. Keep calling out the dickheads.
Yeah.
Keep making people pay more for fucking feet pics, whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is you want to fucking do, just do it. Who cares?
Also, I'm thinking Bali feet pics could add an extra quid onto them,
Mate, imagine the content you get out there.
That's it.
Like, there's only so much content I can imagine you would do in front of a white wall with like various outfits. Like out there, you'd just be like, whoop, I'm on the fucking beach. Oh, whoop, there's a dog. Like, whoop, oh, I'm in the fucking jungle. Like,
that's it. That is it.
I don't know, whatever.
I'll be looking at Skyscanner after this.
Get it done, pal. Get it done.
I really need to.
There's literally nothing stopping you.
No, exactly. That's what it's it. It's like just this whole COVID thing put me off because of the whole like testing or whatever. But I'm thinking, say if I went to do a month in October, surely by then we'll be a bit more settled.
But also with testing, right? You do the test, you pay for them because you've got cash in the bank. You go out there, and if you have to quarantine on return, you take content in your bedroom anyway. So what are you missing out on?
Yeah, that's
going to Spoons for 2 weeks. Wow, who fucking cares?
Exactly. Yeah, that is
Like,
it. That's it.
I feel this is the pep talk in life you need.
I needed this.
Yeah, therapy.
That's it.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me. Hope you're not too scarred for life now.
What's that, sorry?
Hope you're not too scarred for life now after everything.
Well, mate, this is no, don't be daft. Like, I don't judge people. Like, I'm fascinated to get people's insights for stuff like this, and you know, to hopefully, like, if someone listens to this, they can take a bit of inspiration if they're thinking of doing it, or they're going through, even if they're going through just some of the trolls in terms of their appearance or weight or whatever. Like, there's messages in there where people go, I can get through it. So, you know, we'll keep in touch. Let me know when you're coming down to Cardiff. We'll have a beer.
Yes.
We'll I'll pay for the beer. I don't expect you to pay for it because I'm not subscribed to your OnlyFans, right? So just for the record, everyone's aware. My missus would literally batter me.
I don't blame it.
No, exactly. I completely get it. I think I'm quite a logical person in that respect. So yeah, we'll grab a beer. We'll have a catch up. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This is out on Monday, so I'll tag you in everything. And Monday night we'll get it live. I'll tag you in, and we can see what comments we get.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Literally.
I know. Have a brilliant rest of the week.
And you
I'm
too.
sure you're probably up to some content now, whatever. So enjoy that, and we'll catch up again. All right.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Alaw, thank you very much. You take care.
And you too. See ya.
Bye.